My name is John Burkhardt, and the title of my book is Yesterday's Truth for Today. I am 92 years old, and I've had a marvelous life doing all kinds of things. I was born back in the Depression, back in the 30s. My mom and dad were both a couple of farm kids that got married, and had myself and two brothers. And we lived a pretty simple life, quite a religious life. And I look back at that as being a very good disciplinary characteristic that's implanted in me. My life was very much surrounded with the vision of living forever. We went to church, prayed, and lots of love and lots of camaraderie in that family. I feel I had an extraordinary, simplistic, but sincere and great background. I'm a big gardener. I raise all kind of vegetables, and I get sweaty and grubby and whatever, and I enjoy that. I guess it's still an attachment to my youth. Also, I'm a runner. I'd run 30 miles a week. Finally, my knees wore out when I was about 73, and I kind of terminated that. But I'm still very active in terms of I have chickens, and I have a big garden and all that sort of thing. And that's an important segment, I feel, of my life. I like being alone. I like reading. I like praying. I like activities in the community. So there's a lot of things about me that might seem contradictory, but there's a lot of diversity, and all of that, I think, makes me a very happy and excited person about life. Yeah, I went through a Catholic seminary, which was 9 years. They were like living in a monastery. No TV and no newspaper, no radio. You prayed and studied and lived in a cloistered life. And I look back, what a treasure that was. I today still enjoy having a couple hours a day in solitude. For 12 years I was a Catholic priest, and for the last 52 years I've been an Episcopal priest. So after 12 years I was pastoring up in Columbus, Ohio. Came down as a professor of psychology at EKU, Eastern Kentucky University, and there I met and married and have 4 children. As I was teaching at Eastern, I also was there counseling. As I say, I'm a PhD in psychology from Ohio State, and I have a postdoctorate from the University of Pennsylvania just in marital and individual counseling. I visited every denomination of Christian churches for over 12 years. Every Sunday we go. I'm 92, and most Sundays I'm preaching somewhere. And I find that as I live my life, that there's a lot of people I think have kind of got mixed up. They look at life as you've got to grab everything you can grab. All the money, all the possessions, all the pleasures. Get out there and go whole hog wild or whatever. And then they end up, they get old and they see death coming at them, and they're disappointed, and they work real hard, and finally when they're about 65 years old or whatever, they finally got their house paid off, and they're celebrating, and here they realize a few years later in their 70s that they're facing death or sickness, and they're on the downgrade, and what's all this work for? I've knocked myself out, and what's this life worth anyway? I'm really disappointed. You know, I thought I really did a great job, and I've got money in the bank, and I've got a great house, and I'm a successful person, and yet here everything's going to come to a close. My life is about over. And so the notion of ignoring the fact that we did not create ourselves. The presence of God and particularly of His Son Jesus Christ is what I'm promoting. Boy, we've got a life that won't quit. We got happiness that won't quit. Here's a guy called Jesus who went around and absolutely just baffled everybody, because he worked hundreds and thousands of miracles, just I mean, just right and left for 3 years, and the miracles of Jesus Christ are so profound. The glories of heaven are real. Life in heaven is real, and I think it's unfortunate if we push that aside, then boy, life is a profound disappointment. We are surrounded with a supernatural marvel of a God and a creator. And as a psychologist and as a theologian, I'm here to tell you we live in a wonderful world that has no end. We are planned by God to be just like God, and our future is limitless. Belief in religion is so important to really give joy and give some distance for the future, and I've got something to look forward to. Otherwise, it seems that people get pretty much down in the dumps. That life for many people is very disappointing. Why? Because the big black cloud of death, oh, there comes the end. I don't care how much money I make. I don't care how big my house is or whatever. It's going to come and it's going to knock me out of existence. And I think that's what motivates me to write this book. Life is a lot of fun, but if you've got selfishness prevailing, self-centeredness prevailing, then it really becomes a pretty mean world. And I think to a great extent, that's what people are experiencing. We have over half of Americans have no church affiliation. Their children are growing up and they've heard of this character called Jesus, but they don't know too much about who he was and what he did. They never seen a Bible, never been in a church, and that's pretty upsetting. That kind of prompts me, perhaps as much as anything, to try to write this book and get some news out that's positive and promising. I want to paint a joyful picture. That the boys, life is great. Now, life can be one heck of a lot of fun, and there's just all kinds of opportunities. But we start demanding perfection on ourselves and others, then we're out of the game. We're going to be miserable. My book is really predicated on about 29 years of writing articles for newspapers. And I've kind of had a compilation of those, an organization of those. And so this has been something of a life journey and a life effort for me. It's just not something I sat down for a month or whatever and hibernated. It's something that I responded to human tragedies, human blessings, to wars, to great civic leaders and military leaders. I'm making some kind of an appraisal of world events and gleaning out of that something of a presence and a power of God and His providence for us. So the human dimension of me is very much impregnated with my book. So you're going to get acquainted with me and who I am, what I've done, and all that. And I've had enormous blessings with all kinds of education and experiences, and I want to share those with you. Yesterday's Truth for Today is the title of my book. It's going to give you some idea of how to enjoy this life, how to realize that we're all going to die, and yet we have the opportunity never to die. We should have ambition and excitement about our future, not allowing the black cloud of our earthly physical death to barricade us and impede us. We should be looking at life with an endless future. We need to have that kind of faith. We need to have that kind of definition of who we are, and that we've got a great opportunity to love and share and help each other on earth. And there's a great joy. The more we serve and care for each other, the more we love, the happier we are as people. And that with a faith in a supreme being, that we have an endless future of joy. We need to have that kind of conviction. If not, we get quagmired very quickly and disappointed very quickly, and we start fussing with each other, and no one's perfect, and nothing quite goes as we want, and we're grumbly and disappointed all the time, and we like to fill ourselves with distractions. I got to buy this and grab more money and go here and go there, and so the notion of what am I living for? Understanding what's life all about, and that's what my book's about. Help you to get your feet on the ground and love and accept who you are and where you are, and that you've got a future that has no end.